Okay, we've got a special guest in the studio
We
this
do.
morning on the bright side of the road, and we're going to try to make this an annual event, not an annual event, a weekly event.
There we go.
Yeah, called What's Happening at York High School.
Yeah, that's a good idea to find out.
Yes,
You bet.
and who better than to tell us what's happening at York High School is the brand new principal of York High, Brian Galheer. Good morning. Did I pronounce the name right?
You did, Doug. Doug, Frank, I appreciate you having me in here. I just kind of wanted to share some of the good news going on at York High School here. So,
what, school's been in session now for what, 3-4 weeks? Something
about 3 weeks. Yeah, we started the 16th there. Started with a half day. Had an open house beforehand, so get kids kind of acclimated a little bit. But honestly, I think it's been a great start to the school year here. We got 509 students. They're off and running. And
509.
509.
That's a lot of kids to take care of. I'll
Yes,
tell you
it
that.
is.
A lot of names to learn. So,
There you go.
So I really appreciate the work of our staff to ensure a smooth start, to the school year, especially from a first year principal, because I'm learning a lot every day.
I got to ask, how did they adapt to your last name?
Mr. G.
There you go.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
This is Mr. G. There you go.
Yeah. My kids went to school when the superintendent was principal, Bartholomew.
Yeah.
And they called him Mr. Bart.
Oh, there you go.
So, Mr. G, how is it going?
So it's kind of some days it feels like drinking from a fire hose, and some days it goes a lot smoother. But I really appreciate. I think from the exterior perspective, I've had a lot of good feedback in terms of how things have been kind of rolling this year. So my word to note kind of here is learn. And so the key thing I've already learned this year is that there's some great people at YHS. They're dedicated to their job just to help students take that next step, whatever that may be, big or small in their lives. So I'm super excited about that.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. Where'd you come from? What have you done in the past?
Yeah, so I was born and raised up in northeast Nebraska, a small town, Wisner. And I kind of grew into, my mom was an educator, so it's kind of the family business, I guess you could say there. So, got into education. I'm a recovering science teacher and track football coach.
Good luck to you.
Wait a second here.
Recovering science teacher. I can understand that.
You can understand.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean, Brian?
Well, I had a blast as a teacher. I really did. But there's a lot of things to it, and I kind of always wanted to be a leader, and so I kind of moved on to a leadership role here and to help teachers. But teachers, I will tell you, if you haven't done so already, to your listeners, thank a teacher. They do a lot of great things.
A lot of prep to do what they do.
A lot
Absolutely.
of prep. So they endure a lot, and they do it with a smile on their face. So
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're now recovered, and where did you move on after that?
So I became a assistant principal, activities director at Raymond Central. I was there for a couple of years.
Excellent.
I endured COVID there. That was a learning experience in itself. And then this past year, I was the principal at West Point Beamer up there for the cadets. And honestly, I haven't had a bad experience anywhere I've went. I've learned a lot, and I still to this day have long lasting connections. I can pick up the phone and talk to 4 or 5 more people there.
Yeah, that's the networking you want to get going.
Exactly. So here I am, and just continually building that network. And I feel like in a place like York, my network has exploded because I've just met so many great people. That's been
We
good.
like it here.
Yeah, it's a good place.
So, they say you have to learn the 3 R's. That's reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah. I didn't do real good. No,
You
not
have
real good at any of those. Yeah. That's why I are on the radio.
Yeah, me too. And Brian, you have some beliefs called the 3 E's.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, so 3 R's turns into 3 E's for me. So when kids graduate, when our students graduate, I have 3 goals for them. One is to enroll them, trade school, 4-year institution, 2 4-year, whatever it may be, enlist them and have them serve our country, or employ them. And so one of those 3 things, kind of taking that next step, I always talk about our teachers are preparing kids for the next step. That could be the next day, just to think small, or it could be for the next year, 9th grade, 10th grade. It could be for the next stage, post-graduation plans. And so we're always looking at what we can do for our 509 students
kids,
walking through the hallway there. So it gets difficult at times, but at the same time, it's the why behind what we do at YHS.
Absolutely.
So with that, kind of that employee part of it, we've kind of expanded some pieces of what we do. So we have some work study opportunities for our students, and basically what they can do is they can earn high school credit, elective credit, to go out and work jobs,
do some work,
and just go out and earn a paycheck, earn credits at the same time. And so
that's cool.
We allow our juniors and seniors to do those things, and we have kids working jobs at Arby's, Subway, Walmart, Hearthstone, at YGH down there, just doing daycare, and some in the manufacturing roles as well. And so we're trying to expand those opportunities. I feel like I'm constantly taking requests and everything, because there's a lot of help wanted signs and businesses around here. So
that's neat, though. I mean, so students can earn a paycheck, get on the job experience, and then also earn the credits.
Get some credit.
How do they go about lining up a job? Do they come to you?
Well, if they have a job, they come to us, they sign a contract and have their employer sign a contract, and ultimately the follow-up throughout the year is someone like myself or one of our staff members will go out and just do periodic check-ins.
Making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, so right now we have about just south of 60 students that are out just in the workforce gaining credits. So it's really cool, because when you think of a job, you guys are doing one right now. It's experience every day.
Yeah,
every day you're learning something new and meeting new people, and just that concept.
That's over 10% of the kids. I think that's terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a cool opportunity for our kids, and at the same time they get to earn a paycheck. And that's big.
That's nice. And then they can buy a car.
Yeah.
And do donuts in the parking lot during the wintertime.
I don't think he wants them to do that. Now, wait a minute.
Well, my son, Dax, he had an old 69 yellow Cadillac, and he went and had a little joyride in the parking lot during the winter. Did a few donuts, and guess who got a call? From Mr. Bart.
Right. Hey, about this kid of yours.
Doug, we got to talk.
Yeah. Exactly. What about?
We have to have the talk, Doug.
Well, school's been in session now for about 3 weeks or so, a little over, and fall activities are going on all over the place. What do you got coming up?
They are, and I'll tell you, it kind of seemed like there was somewhat at a standstill there, that heat wave we had. So the NSA has some new requirements that they gave us a wet bulb globe reader, and basically it'll tell us whether or not we can even have students outside, or we have to reduce it to 1 hour of multiple water breaks and get things taken care of.
Lincoln shut her down a couple of days ago.
Lincoln shut her down a couple times. That was for the air quality a little bit. Yeah.
And then I know that the York High girls golf team, they had to cut down on some of their
practices?
No, they went to a couple of meets, and they
had to come home. Because if the reading gets too high, you can't have kids outside.
I got you. That's how that comes about.
It's I think that there might have been some grumbly athletes and coaches and fans, but at the same time, but of course at the same time, we're here for the safety of our kids.
Well, that's it. Everybody wants to compete, but slow down. I mean, you'll get there.
Yep, exactly. And so we've endured, and so it's kind of a newer thing from the NSA, but really, when you think about it, it's necessary.
It's a good thing.
I played football, and I did 2-a-days and things like that, and I had to remove myself from that kind of traditional, antiquated mindset to know this is about our kids. This is about the health and safety of our kids.
Over the years, we've not necessarily Nebraska, but throughout the United States, we've lost some kids because we didn't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And so it's
sad and unfortunate for sure.
So, okay, so what's coming up on the sports calendar at York High?
So we're pretty busy there. So volleyball, we had volleyball pajama night last night. So we had a student section that was running through. They were pajamas in the stands.
Did you wear your pajamas with the toes and everything?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I did not. I was monitoring, but we had some rowdy individuals, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So, but anyway, volleyball, they'll be back in action. They're 2-4 right now, and they're heading to Newman tomorrow for a tournament. Softball, Softball 7 and 6. They're heading to Lakeview tomorrow for a tournament as well. And then today we got a lot of action today, actually. So, boy! Best of luck to the Dukes today. So girls golf will be at Lexington today. Boys tennis is at home for the York Fest invite, which will be a lot of fun, kind of all around town here. Cross country is at Aurora today, and then tonight we have a home football game against Bennington.
Wow,
we got Bennington coming to town.
Yeah, Frank was telling us on the news about Bennington.
Bennington's 29-0 in their last 29 games.
Yeah,
so.
they've accrued a little bit of hardware over the past couple of years.
They're a pretty good team, but the Dukes shut out Lexington and shut out, who was the other one?
That would be Hastings.
Yeah.
2-0. So it should be a heck of a matchup.
Way, so you were on that. Did a good job.
Besides sports activities, I know a lot of students like to get into other activities besides sports. And tell us a little bit about what's going on at York High.
So I mentioned Bennington football with some hardware. One Act has a little bit of hardware too. It's a big deal around here too. So they've already begun a lot of their preparations there, and so. Becky Stairs
it's interesting you say that because my wife and I were watching Hamilton last night.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, it's so cool that you do, so many of the activities with the kids that will prepare them for other things other than sports. There's drama out there and it's pretty special.
Yeah. So. And I'm I guess I could say recovering AD too, or because I was an AD, so I worked closely with the NSA, and I worked actually closely with our AD here, Tyler Herman, who does a fantastic job. But NSA's motto is activities are the other half of education,
right.
And they really are. You know, kind of like I talk about, you learn a lot of job skills going to work. Well, activities is a job. Like you really do kind of look at it as a job. It's unpaid, but kids go out and have fun, and you dedicate. You have responsibilities to the team, to the program, to be able to do things, and that's one thing. One Act is one of those programs or organizations that it's been pretty successful.
Sure.
Becky Stair heads that up, doesn't she?
She does, yes.
And like you said, she's done wonderful things with One Act performances.
Well,
brought home a whole bunch of hardware.
A little bit of hardware there.
Yeah.
Some decoration around the school there. So that's already begun, but the competition part of that'll go probably starting up here late October, November, and then postseason will be early December. So.
Probably got a speech team, band, choir, all those things are real important.
Speech team is getting rolling here, and then band and choir is under new leadership this year.
Oh, so who's that now?
Band, we have a new director. His name's Nate Novak. Okay. And so he's been running morning stuff and getting rolling because they're going to be marching tomorrow.
They got to hit the field here pretty quick.
They'll be marching tonight, actually, on the field, and then they'll be in the parade tomorrow. And then choir is under Amy Frazier.
Okay,
is the new one there, and she's had a lot of morning Dukes and Duchesses in the morning. So these things that are kind of expanding outside of the school day, they've done a real good job there, and so we've had some good early reviews in their transition.
Yeah, before I would come to work, I could hear the band practicing over at York High. I live close to that.
Absolutely.
And one of my favorite things is we live just a couple of blocks from East Hill Stadium, and the band always marches to the stadium, and that gets you going.
Yeah, we got
some shivers.
Yeah, we got the same thing over in Seward, and of course we live like a block away from the school, so they come marching by, going to the football games at night. They'll be out there tonight.
If you're not awake, you will.
Yeah, if you're not, you are now.
And then you got a big when's homecoming?
Homecoming is going to be the week of September 18th, and the end of it will be the 23rd. So we're sitting not next week, but the week after. Following there.
Gotcha.
So that'll be a Hollywood theme.
Hollywood theme.
Yep.
Well,
so what does that mean?
It means that all the pajama guys switch over to holiday stuff.
I see.
Yeah, they'll be wearing Christmas trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have the different classes working on decorating the hallways and things like that. And then the days,
it doesn't change with that group. They just change uniforms.
Yeah,
is all.
Okay, got to plan ahead though, because make sure you get your stuff taken care of.
Yeah, there's Buckaroo Day and everything else. They do all kinds of stuff.
It's a fun week. It really is a fun week. So. Yeah,
that's good. Anything else going on?
So I'm part of the York High School Hall of Fame committee. I'm learning more about that too, and so we're working on finalizing our nominations for this year. And I just wanted to, at that meeting, we wanted to kind of put out a flyer here, calling all alumni. You know, we are seeking additional nominations for the YHS or York High School Hall of Fame, and so there are some criteria there. But ultimately, we're looking for YHS alum that have gone out and done great things.
Oh, okay.
And so really the standard there is they need to be graduated at least 5 years, and be a significant contributor to society. And so, you know, that's the thing. We're always trying to churn out. Hopefully we have 509 future contributing citizens.
Yeah.
And so we just want to recognize some of those people that have gone out and with their YHS diploma and done great things. So if you have nominations, please check out our website. We have a Hall of Fame tab that you can search and look for there. You can look at previous winners. You can look at the nomination form. Send those to me here at the high school office. I'll get them and throw them in the pile of nominations that are considered annually.
Cool.
So
cool.
I bet you're in a whirlwind out there about now, though. This being the first year and all. Just so many things getting hit from all sides.
The flip side of that, Frank, is if I'm sitting home doing nothing, I would be miserable.
That would be horrible.
And so
I hear
so
you.
the flip side of that is, you know, I've got a great wife, young kids. Luke and Red, if you're listening, hi. Kate, hi, love you. The flip side of that is I'm busy. I'm always active. I'm always doing things. Good. I want to be visible. I want to be on the radio. You know,
you want that
speaking the good things. So.
Positive spin on things. Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well,
control the narrative a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we do here at Cool Radio on the bright side of the road.
Yes,
we try
indeed.
to make things positive for our listeners out there.
Keep people going every day.
And first impressions from me, Brian, is that you're going to be a great high school principal.
I appreciate that, Doug.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too.
And we'll plan to get together again maybe next Friday.
Potentially, yep.
Okay,
let's get that worked out.
That'd be great. We'll get to be friends.
All right, sounds good.
He's the new kid on the block at York High School, first-year principal Brian Galheer, and we thank you very much for coming in and being on the bright side of the road.